especially like to welcome our new viewers on the AT&T broadband cable systems in western Chicago suburbs. I hope you all agree with me. And in just a minute, we're going to bring you a few stories that you probably missed over the past few days. Also coming up tonight is President Bush doing all that he can do to stop the violence in Israel. We'll talk to former Congressman John Kasich. The president's being criticized in some corners. Also, the Kuwaiti parliament says that the United States is partly to blame for the violence in Israel. A Kuwaiti spokesman will join us tonight. And are Muslim nations afraid to condemn suicide bombers? A meeting of the Islamic nations can't agree on whether or not they would define terrorism as going after women and children. We'll tell you about that.
Country of Kuwait blaming the U.S. for the violence in Israel. Joining us from Washington is the director of the Kuwaiti Information Office, Dr.Ghabra. Mr. Ghabra, good to have you with us. Let me ask you first.
Dr.Ghabra, but that's fine.
Forgive me for the mispronunciation.
No problem.
Sorry, sir.
Get that.
Let me ask you why Kuwait is now, it seems to be making amends again with Iraq. Why are those two countries moving closer together?
Well, you see, with Iraq, it's been to a couple of steps. Nothing strategic has happened yet. But what we see today is a dramatic situation in the Middle East, and we see Sharon hijacking the September 11 agenda of President Bush into his own private agenda, into a vendetta against the Palestinians and against Chairman Arafat. And that's problematic. That's turning the whole Middle East into radicalization and bringing the whole region into a state of turmoil.
Wait a minute. Do the Palestinians bear any responsibility for the conflagration in the Middle East? Suicide, bombers? Do they have any responsibility for this?
Look, everybody has a responsibility, but when you want to exchange blames, occupation is occupation. The Palestinians have been under occupation for the last 36 years directly, plus a historical relationship with suffering and refugee life, and there is no hope. And once that is the case, what one expects, and this is the danger, is that some hope was injected in the 1990s. There was a lot of hope in 92, 93, 94. We've lost all of that hope, and this is really now taking it in a different direction.
There's a Saudi peace plan that's on the table. There's hope now, assuming the Israelis are willing to talk about the 1967 borders and a conversation perhaps about the right of return, which is a little more difficult. But isn't there an opportunity now to grab that brass ring of peace? Isn't that a possibility at this moment?
I'll tell you what the situation is. Mr. Sharon, Prime Minister Sharon, not only hijacked the September 11 agenda, which is about curriculum and education and Al-Qaeda and all kinds of extremism, Mr. Sharon is going through his own private war, and in this sense he is misleading, I think, his American allies, and he's going to go beyond expectations. He's done that in Beirut in 1982. He misled the entire Israeli cabinet, including his own prime minister.
Hey, Doctor,
so one sees a very complicated situation if allowed to continue.
Welcome to the show. Glad you could be with us tonight. If America decides to attack Iraq, will your country support us?
Well, America hasn't decided to attack Iraq, and we haven't also decided to go in any direction on this issue.
You haven't decided, but will your government allow us to use your territory as a staging area?
Look, I mean, you're taking the issue in this direction. I'll tell you very simply, there is an agreement between America and Kuwait, and the agreement continues and lives, and there is an understanding.
You're dodging my question. I'm going to ask you, with all due respect, will you support our effort? Because Kuwait doesn't exist without America. And this is there's some things bothering me here. I want to know 100% sure that if we engage Iraq in our war on terror to stop Saddam Hussein from getting weapons of mass destruction, I think America needs to know tonight that we have your support in that effort.
Well, first, your issue, Kuwait doesn't exist without America, is a little bit arrogant and is not acceptable for me. And I don't think this is the right approach.
Would you exist today without America?
Yes, we would exist. Yes.
After Saddam attacked your country, raped and pillaged?
It will exist under probably a totally different situation, and maybe a much worse, definitely worse situation. America came for its interest. Kuwait stood for its interest, and there is friendship. And I think what we do now is we are going through a set of friendship and understanding that's mutually beneficial to both countries.
Because, all right, you say
I mean, you cannot say that. I mean, this is Look, this is too blunt to accept.
I say history backs up my point of view because I don't think Kuwait in any form would exist today were it not for the United States of America militarily bailing out Kuwait in the Persian Gulf War. But I want to ask this question. I have a Reuters story in front of me from this weekend. And a quote, thousands of Kuwaitis took to the streets for the support of the Palestinians, it goes on. And also, there were chants not only against Israel, but against the United States. Chanting, and I'm thinking, you know, I think this bothers the American people because blood, sweat, and tears were shed in part to free Kuwait from an occupation. What part of this population, thousands, chanting against the United States? What part of this history don't they understand?
Let's put it this way. It's something that worries everybody and worries us as well. The policy of Sharon as it is today is radicalizing the whole region. It is radicalizing your friends and your allies. It is isolating.
We're not Israel.
I mean, it could be 10,000. It is Israel mostly. It's not America. You could have had some slogans here and there. But overall, I would say people in Kuwait who are looking to America to intervene in this particular serious crisis as it is constantly taking the entire agenda into a private war Sharon is waging on the Palestinian people.
Thank you for your time tonight, sir. Thank you for coming on the program.
You're more than welcome.
Yep.